Cat's here, man.
Nice.
We're up. We're gonna have Jeff on. Jeff Garcia is gonna be joining us around 11 o'clock.
I didn't know CD was not CD Lamb's real name.
What's his real name?
We're gonna get into that. I'm looking up CD Lamb's stats, and apparently he has a legit name.
I also shared something earlier, man. What I was sharing or I retweeted might be a bit surprising. Passing yards, leaders through week 3. We're gonna talk about who's the top of the pack right now. Make sure that YouTube is behaving. What's up, Sam Salinas? What's up, Matt Gomez? Yeah, YouTube is good right now. Yeah, Astros fans beating their chest right now, man. Everybody's all excited. Astros won their 4th AL West division title. Good on them, man. Good for Astro fans out there. Not so good for Ranger fans because the Rangers were eliminated from playoff contention.
Yeah, who cares?
They're not going to be repeating. You know? Pour some out for Ranger fans and for Big Papi Brandon Medina.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
Happy hump day, everybody. It's Michael Jimenez. That is Joe Garcia. This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio. We're going to have a fantastic show today, as we always do. Apologies for being late. That is on me. Again, we go from about 10-ish to about 11:30. We're the only sports talk show right now that is local in the San Antonio area. Joe, how you doing today, my man?
Doing good, man. You got to go ahead and give Astros fans credit, man. Their team won their 4th AL West division title here. So
yeah, getting into a lot.
Go ahead and give some love to our boy Chris Leja there. The Astros' biggest space cadet there.
There you go.
Leading the charge.
Looking good. That was probably over at NASA, I'm assuming.
Nah.
But very nice. Or that was Halloween or something, right?
No, that was last year when the Astros were in the playoffs.
Oh, really?
And they lost, and they showed that fan that was dressed as an astronaut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and our boy Swiss got him, dude. He did that really great meme, put his face in the
That's
in
very
the helmet.
good. That is very good. Yeah, the Astros. We'll get into the Astros and the fact that the Rangers got knocked out of the playoffs. Astros back in it, the 8th consecutive season that they're back in the playoffs, so we'll get into that. NFL season, week 4 gets going tomorrow. Cowboys and Giants. CD Lamb talking to reporters saying that he has failed the team, that he's playing good, but he's getting paid to be great. And we're going to talk about that a little bit.
I guess he's rating himself as
Yeah. Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken Swive will be on at 11 o'clock to talk about the Spurs. The Spurs season starts in less than a month. The regular season less than a month. The preseason games, I believe, start next week. So we're already getting into things when it comes to the Spurs. We'll talk about that. We do pop culture nostalgia. There's going to be rumors out there of a potential Hollywood divorce.
Ouch.
And it involves the allegations that this guy took part in the Diddy freak-offs. And when we say which person this is, by the way, you're not going to be surprised. It's one of those names you're like, I get it. He seems like a cochino.
He got caught diddling. Hey, you know what? One thing that I'm going to share with you right now, because I know how much you hate Cowboys and Cowboy fans, but passing yards, leaders through week 3. Look who's at the top of the pack.
Yeah, Dak Prescott with 851.
And what are you going to say? Junk stats,
They're
right?
all junk stats. They're junk stats. It was junk stats against the Ravens. It was junk stats in the first game of the season, or the game against the Saints. Junk stats. What is Dak Prescott's passing yards the first 3 quarters of the game? Because when they're down 28-6, I tell you where he was. He was at 126 yards passing against the Ravens going into the fourth quarter. Ends the game at 370 around there. Why did he get 250 yards? Because the defense was playing prevent at that point because they were getting their asses handed to them.
You know who
he led the Cowboys to 6 points in 3 quarters.
Okay, you know who else is missing from this list?
Who's that?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr's not asked to throw the ball.
I'm just saying.
You want to go through stats?
On the list.
You want to go through stats? Let's compare Alvin Kamara to Zeke Elliott. You want to compare stats?
Oh,
Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed had 0 yards receiving this past weekend, right? 0.
Oh.
He has just as many yards receiving as CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, my quarterback's on the list, so I'm happy. Cowboy fan happy that he made the top 5.
Geno Smith.
Leading the pack. Dak Prescott leading the pack. That's the only stat that matters, man.
What's this going on about Mario Cavasso saying, Mike, has it been confirmed that you'll be hosting a Halloween party and inviting all of the Alamo City Sportscast alumni? That is not a bad idea. In fact, my good friend Alex, his wife, friend of mine, Jen, came out the other day and said, by the way, Jimenez, you're hosting the Halloween party this year.
Hey, are we invited?
So now, I mean, the gente, right? The Alamo City Sportscast gente. You know, Tony Ornelas can come, Tex McFrank, Sith, Mario, Leja. They can come. Just bring some beer.
All right. You know what my costume's going to be?
What's that?
Daisy.
Oh, man. Why you got to go there, man? I'd already forgotten. Why do you got to go there? Daisy's probably in somebody's house right now.
She's probably living it up right now.
Yeah,
dude.
got a haircut and everything.
Yeah, they fed her and then she gone. They get her haircut, they feed her, she's gone. Moving on to another house.
Yeah. Speaking about moving on, man, I had a nice little meeting with my divorce attorney a couple of days ago.
No, man.
It was funny, man. It's funny because I'm going through this whole process. I'm hoping to be finally officially divorced by next month. And dude, it hurt writing that check. You know what? It's the stupidest thing. I'm going to tell you why it's the stupidest thing. There's a maximum amount that somebody could get for child support, right?
Yeah.
So why are we going through this? I don't get it. It's funny. I wrote a nice little $3,500 check, and that's probably just half of what I'm going to pay just to get going.
Yeah, man. Divorces are expensive. They're like, I think the average is like 10 grand.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to spit out. Money that could have gone to our kids' college, but you know what? We're nickel and diming at this point. You know what? Do you know what I want out of the house right now? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing.
Yeah, you're going to keep the house though, right?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's a good investment. You know, you have equity in the house. The interest rate's at a very good interest rate and all that stuff. I could keep it. I can afford to keep it if I wanted to. Just I don't know if I want to, man. It's just, I don't know. Well, I may want to move on.
Look at Sam Salinas. When do you flaunt your new girl in front of your ex? Kid's birthday party, wedding, funeral.
Yeah, all of that. Social media is when you do it. Nah, man, it's weird, man. And being in the dating world and all that stuff is just confusing. It's confusing, man. You know, it's one of those things where I didn't grow up in life thinking that I'd be single at 47.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast.
I don't know.
What do? You do that all the time.
I hit the button, but it didn't go.
You do that all the time.
And it's not all the time. This is once in a while. The button got stuck. I unstuck the button.
Very nice. But yeah, man, I paid $3,500 to that dude. He's a nice guy, man. Matt Saucy. You need your divorce attorney. SOSSI, Matt Saucy. He's an interesting character, man. But he gets the job done. All I know is I've been divorced once before, and I'm 1-0. I'm 1-0. Speaking of which, Friday's show, I might be doing this one on the road.
Taking it on the road again?
Might be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, visiting Gabby Girl. So we got to figure that one out. But anyway, so tomorrow I'm thinking about heading out to Baton Rouge. I haven't bought my flight yet, but I'll do it sometime today. I'll either leave tomorrow or Friday morning.
Buying flights last minute, it's expensive.
It is, but when you're going to a city that no one wants to go to, it's not that bad. It's not like I'm flying into LA or Las Vegas or Miami or Dallas or whatever. I'm flying into Baton Rouge. They're like, please, we got seats available, please. Now, how am I going to come back? Because that's the thing, Joe. Here's the thing. Do I spend $300 to come back one way, or do I bite the bullet and just do the Greyhound?
No, man, the Greyhound sucks, dude.
Oh,
You might
Greyhound
as well
sucks.
drive.
Well, no, I'm tired of driving, dude.
The Greyhound's awful, man. You're gonna be there, and it's gonna be like, I don't know, from here to Baton Rouge is like what, 12, 13 hours?
No, it's about 8.
8.
So I mean, think about it this way, man. I've been dating a girl that lives in Conroe, right?
Yeah.
So that's about a 3.5 hour drive one way that I've been doing every other weekend.
Okay.
For the past couple.
So
of months.
if you go and do the Greyhound, you're gonna add an extra hour and a half to that whole trip.
Well,
It makes a lot of
that's the
stops.
Conroe. But if I'm going to Baton Rouge,
No, I'm just like saying
And
8 hours, right?
it's about let's see, it's about what 3.5 to Houston, 3 to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Houston's a halfway point.
Yeah.
So it's about another, because you go another hour and a half and you're in Lake Charles, and then it's about another hour and a half after that.
All right. But I'm saying if you go on Greyhound, you're going to add some extra time because of the frequent stops that
that they make.
Yeah.
But I get to play on my phone. I get to work. Sam Slee is asking if they do Amtrak. I've never done Greyhound, dude. My daughter did Greyhound to San Antonio because there was one time there was a hurricane coming into Baton Rouge, and we got her on a bus to come to San Antonio. So she's done that before. She said they stopped in Houston, like all the little towns along the way. I don't know if they stopped at Buc-ee's, but they did it. I've never done public transit like that before. I've done the Greyhound of the Skies, Spirit Airlines.
Yeah.
I've done Frontier.
You can't do the Megabus no more. They shut down.
But flying into Baton Rouge, there's only 2 airlines. There's only 5 gates there at that airport. It's
tiny.
United and American. And my daughter lives on the east side of Baton Rouge. So that's about an hour and 10 minutes away from New Orleans. So one option I have is she can just go pick my happy ass up over in New Orleans if that's the case. Gives us a reason to be out there, right?
Yeah.
So I'll be in Louisiana. It's too bad my Saints won't be there because the Saints are going to be in Atlanta taking on the Falcons this Sunday. Falcons favored by 2 points. But I'll be on the road. So
I was going to tell you, we're going to get into a little bit of entertainment news here early because I was going to show you. I don't know if you've seen this.
Yeah.
But they transformed a section of downtown now because of 1923, the TV series.
Yeah.
And look at the way it looks, man.
That's cool.
Did a heck of a job. I mean, it looks really nice.
That's cool. I know they were looking for dozens of extras
to
be part of the show. 1923 is part of the Yellowstone franchise. So you have Yellowstone, which is about the Dutton family, which takes place in current times. And right now they're still fighting it out as to how to end the show because Kevin Costner says, peace out, don't want to be on the show anymore. But then they had 1887, which was or is it 1883?
Pre-origin, yeah.
Which was the prequel.
Yeah.
Starring Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, which was a really good show. And then that was just one season, and then that was it. Then they moved on over to 1923, and I believe they're going to have another one along the way as part of the Dutton lore. So very cool, man. That's cool that they're filming that here in San Antonio. I'm sure they get lots of tax breaks and whatnot. But for them to transform downtown San Antonio is pretty cool.
JHNSB. I thought Mike said buses are for nasty people.
I never said that, but they are. Ralph Barbosa, the comedian, talks about taking a Greyhound from Dallas to Houston in his last Netflix comedy special.
Yeah.
And he says, when they warn you not to get naked, it just tells you the type of people that are on the Greyhound.
Yeah, Greyhound's a dirty ass bus.
Greyhound costs like $30, like from here to Houston. It's like $30.
$30.
Go to Baton Rouge, it's $40. It's for a reason.
Yeah.
Right. But part of it is this. It's not that I don't want to drive out to Baton Rouge. It's the fact that I've been driving so much. Dude, I've been driving to Conroe every other week for the past 2 months. We went over to Burnett, Texas. I have clients that are in Corpus. I have clients that are in Houston. I have clients that are in Kerrville. I have clients that are in the Valley.
Yeah.
I've been driving so much that the idea of me driving this week is not going to happen.
You know what I like about Conroe? Because I've gone over there before. My favorite spot there is a little place like in the middle of the downtown of Conroe. It's so small, Conroe, right? But there's this little spot that I like going to. It's called Dragon Bowl C.
Really?
And it's a ramen shop that they have downtown. And it's all Dragon Ball Z themed. I know you're not into anime, but your daughter is. And she would love it there. The ramen's really good. And the place where you sit down and eat, it's like old fashioned, dude, like super old. You go into the main dining hall and they have like this old Western style bar.
Yeah.
You know, and then they have like tin on the ceilings and all that. It looks really cool, dude. I like going there.
We checked out the Land Shark bar over there on the lake. That was pretty cool. We've been spending a lot of time over in the Woodlands, but it's just dating, dude. Nothing serious. It's just dating. Just is what it is. But I'll be on the road Thursday and Friday, so that's tomorrow, man. Jeez, I got to buy my ticket today. So I'll tell you, Joe, what's going to go up with that, and then I'll make sure that I take my microphones and all that, so I can do it over there. Johnny Walker will be with us on Friday, talking about UT football. UT playing their first SEC game ever this weekend against Mississippi.
Oh yeah, look at that. Seth is telling us that Down for the Count is happening tonight, so make sure you go and check that out with Seth and also with Brandon. Big Boppy Medina. They're going to be doing their X Space.
I saw that you unveiled them as the official welcome. Congratulations, Sith. Fantastic, man.
Welcome to the family.
Do we really have to talk about the Astros?
Yeah, man. It's their fourth AL West title.
By the way, I said Texas was taking on Mississippi. It's Mississippi State this weekend. Let's talk about the Astros. Their seventh AL West title.
Their fourth in a row.
Fourth in a row. They had 1 year where they didn't get one because of COVID, right? It was a shortened season, so I'm not even going to count that. This is a dynasty of a team. It is what it is. It's a dynasty of a team. It's an era. And it's an era that was built, not bought. A lot of the players that the Astros have, they drafted. Yes, they brought in players like Verlander over the years, but they have a lot of homegrown talent. Jose Altuve being one of them. You look at the Astros lineup and you think to yourself, how many Hall of Famers do they have on there? Because to make the Hall of Fame, you need what? You need a win, right? Yeah. You win some chips, win some pennants. And the Astros yesterday beat the Mariners 4-3 to win the AL West, 86-72 on the season, which is amazing because they started the season 10 games under 500, right? They were like 7-18 at one point in the season. And for them to flip it around and to go from being 10 games back to 5 games ahead is remarkable. The Rangers at the same time got knocked out of playoff contention, but they got a chip. So it is what it is, right? But you look at the Astros roster and you ask yourself the question, which of these guys is going to make the Hall of Fame or has a legit chance? We know that Justin Verlander will, but Verlander was also really good for the Tigers. So it's not just simply because of what he did with the Astros. But there's a lot of players on this team that you might look at it and go, Altuve. Altuve is going to be a Hall of Famer. Alex Bregman. Got a Breggy bomb yesterday. That's another one. Then you have a lot of other players out there. Might be outfielders like Yordan Alvarez that have a chance. If they keep his career going. Framber Valdez is a fantastic pitcher as well. I think we're going to find out at some point that there's going to be a lot of Hall of Fame talent on this team, and we're going to look back at this Astros team and give them the respect that they deserve.
Yeah, I got to put Chris Leja's, avatar up there, his picture. He gave us a $4.99 super chat right now. Thanks, Chris, for that. He puts, from Christopher Leja, puro pinche Astros a la verga. So he's all in for the Astros. Excited, man.
Yeah, I mean, to be an Astros fan, I mean, it's kind of like being a Spurs fan for that 20-year period where Tim Duncan was there. And then it went off to Kawhi, and then it went off to LaMarcus, where at least we're winning 50 games. It's got to be a good feeling because, man, there was a stretch there where the Astros just sucked for like a decade at a time. Yeah. I mean, I remember growing up, and they may have had Nolan Ryan and Mike Scott and all those guys back in the day, but they sucked. They sucked.
Their
Jose
nickname
Cruz,
was the Astros.
Jose Cruz, we could name off a lot of players, but that team sucked. And ever since they transitioned from the National League over to the American League, they've just been on fire, man. And it's cool to watch, man. It really is. And I give them a lot of crap as well because of the whole trash can scandal from a while back. And a lot of Astros fans get butthurt whenever that is mentioned. Yeah. It happened.
I like this comment coming in from Mexican Jr. For the Astros, the trash can can definitely and needs to make the Hall of Fame or at least the Ring of Honor.
The problem is, and this is what Astros fans say all the time, well, I mean, everyone was cheating. And if there's any sport where there's outright cheating in, there's two. One is boxing, but that's done internally. It's not, the boxers don't cheat. It's what's happening, behind the scenes. The second is baseball. Baseball is meant to be cheating. They glorify cheating. The whole sport is about cheating. Astros got caught. You see that the Dodgers were also doing crap. You see that other teams were also doing things, and we saw that in the NFL. The Patriots.
Christopher Leha, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
They got caught though.
Hey, even Bill Belichick with the Patriots.
Well, I know.
On,
well, they had their camera out there in the middle of nowhere.
Tom Brady deflating the ball. Come on.
The Astros going out there, and they did cheat. I mean, they did. But they're winning despite the fact. It's kind of like Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer, all-time great before he started roiding up, right? When he was on roids, he became the greatest player of all time. But when he wasn't on roids, he was just one of the best players of all time.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. They didn't need to do it. They did it anyway. And that's the problem, is that it's not like they were a fringe team. They were probably the best team. The Dodgers are pissed. Dodgers fans are pissed off like crazy because they believe that the Astros stole one or two attempts for them to make another World Series or to win the World Series.
Oh, that was the case. Dodgers would have won, right?
They got caught, though.
You know what? Even the team that I like, right? The Boston Red Sox, huge Boston Red Sox fan.
Yeah.
They got caught cheating as well. Every team in baseball cheats. Just, you just don't get caught, and some others do. But, I was going to show this on screen right now. This was the Vegas odds makers, right?
Right.
And they were giving, the odds of the teams that they thought were going to win the World Series. Now they had the Dodgers at plus 320, the Philadelphia Phillies at plus 420, New York Yankees plus 440, Houston Astros, they had them at plus 850.
8.5 to 1 odds.
Yeah, look at the Baltimore Orioles plus 950, and it's followed by the San Diego Padres at plus 1,000.
You look at that there, and you ask yourself the question: is it because of talent, or is it because of popularity? The Dodgers, the Yankees, you're going to get a lot of people who bet on them simply because they're the top two teams in the country when it comes to popularity. The Astros at 8.5 to 1 odds. I mean, why not? Baseball is a weird sport, man. You just got to get hot for like a 3-week period, and you're going to win. I mean, I remember back in the day, the Seattle Mariners won like a record 108 or whatever games it was in a season, and then they bowed out really early in the playoffs. Yeah. It doesn't matter. And that's the problem with baseball, is that regular season doesn't matter for anything. And back in the day, you had to win your division to make the playoffs, and then they added a wild card, and then they added a second wild card. And it makes the regular season relatively meaningless at this point. Yeah. It's like that with the NBA. People don't pay attention to the NBA until Christmas. It's like all the games in October, November, and December matter, but no one cares. That's NFL season. We're all going to care about baseball. We're suddenly going to know more about Yordan Alvarez and Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker. We're going to know more about Altuve and Yadier Diaz. And
is he going to get
Jeremy
mad again?
Bania.
Going to get mad and show the ump his foot?
Yeah. We're all going to get excited. We're all going to talk about this. The only player that I really give two craps about is Shohei Ohtani. He plays with the Dodgers, right? God. That's the only guy I care about.
And where did you see him at watching an Astros game?
You were watching the closest place that I could see it.
You were watching an Astros game.
Hey, first date.
Right?
First date was an Astros game.
You heard that crack of the bat.
It freaked us out, man. It freaked us out. It was a whip. I'll never be able to fully describe the sound of that hit. They said 450. Bull crap. That went 500, right? He just cracked that. And I had been to baseball games. I've been to Major League Baseball games. I've been to college baseball games. I've been to tons of missions games. I had never heard that sound of a baseball. It scared me. I mean, I looked at the girl I was dating. Just looked at each other. And she played college softball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's been around batting cages, know.
It's like, what was that?
She heard it and was like, what the hell was that? And then we just saw the ball just sailing off in the distance. We saw it, but it was startling.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you hear a car backfire and you wonder if it's gunshots or not. It was the exact same thing, man. Exact same thing.
Oh, I'm mad your girl made you a Astros fan, Mike. But if you end up wearing the Rockets shirt, she got to go.
Oh, man. You know
what's going to happen now? Like, how you go back, and you go and watch Spurs games on the road sometimes over in Houston, right?
Yeah.
And if she's a Houston Rockets fan,
oh hell no.
You mean what you gonna do?
Oh hell no. No. Well, no. We ain't married. That's one thing. And the second thing is that no, man, there's no girl who's going to help me make me change my allegiances to anything.
You're going to be wearing the San Antonio Spurs legend over there in the house,
No.
Tracy McGrady's jersey.
The Spurs legend Tracy McGrady. No, I'm a Spurs fan, dude. I'm a Spurs fan. That is first and foremost when it comes to things. I'm a Saints fan. I'll cheer for UT. I'll cheer for UTSA. I'll cheer for Texas State. Screw the Aggies. I can't stand the Aggies. There's nothing about that school that I like at all. Screw them. I hate their sports teams. I like when they lose. I cheer for TCU from time to time.
Albert Lopez says, and you heard that crack of the bat. Mike told his girl, hold me. Mike won't buy her a Spurs shirt so people won't think she's from a poor town. You should tell her that. She'll probably laugh at that, dude.
That's funny, man. That's funny.
San Antonio's a poor city. That's what you're going to be known for.
Yeah, we're Laredo with the Spurs. That's what we are, man. Remember back in the day, dude. We talk about like back in the day. Okay, remember that song back in the day? Well, anyway, remember when San Antonio had Kelly Air Force Base and Lackland Air Force Base was rocking more than it does now, and we had Brooks Air Force Base and Randolph was bigger, and we had Brooke Army Medical Center, and I know we have SAMC now, and it's gotten bigger, but still, just go with me on this.
I'm listening.
We had AT&T headquartered in San Antonio. We had Whataburger and Taco Cabana headquartered in San Antonio.
Yeah, we used to.
I mean, San Antonio was happening 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Dude, it's almost like people don't want to admit that the city's gone downhill. And that's not me ragging on the people or ragging on Fiesta or being too ethnic. Dude, the city has gone downhill. And it's kind of like, why am I the jerk for saying it?
When did the city go downhill? When we had our city officials thinking that they knew better than everybody else. You know, you had what's his name, Nelson Wolf, the Emperor, like Nelson I used Wolf. To call him.
To some extent, Henry Cisneros as well.
Yeah, I mean, they just kind of shit the bed when it came to improvements that were needed. You know, and it's the people that live here, man. They don't have forward thinking. They've been trying to go ahead and tell them we need a better transit system, right? Public transportation. And they always vote against it. They don't want light rail. No, I don't want that train downtown in my city. You know, I don't want to see it going down the streets of downtown. Why?
Yeah.
That's dumb. That's a backwards way of thinking, because now what do you have? A Via?
Nothing.
A Via?
A Via bus. No one's going to get on a Via bus, dude.
I mean, come on, man.
I mean, you get on a Via bus if you have to get on a Via bus, not because you want to get on a Via bus. And that's the thing, is that the city has gone downhill and no one wants to talk about it. It's weird for a city to get bigger but not get better. The city of San Antonio, population-wise, gets bigger and bigger and bigger every year, but it doesn't mean that we're getting better and better. We're getting worse. There's got to be a stopping of the bleeding. I told you this a couple weeks ago, Joe. The smartest people that we knew in high school and college, are they here?
Nah, they're gone.
They're gone.
Look at Sam Salinas. And why don't we have that anymore? He goes, because of our stupid ass airport. We are not a hub. Can't bank on direct flights to Mexico. You can't get a direct flight.
We're the seventh largest city in the United States according to population. We're not a hub. And we might lose Southwest Airlines.
If they do that, man, they're just pure stupid. Why wouldn't you want to give your biggest tenant,
right? That's 40% of your business,
a better place? Like, put them in the new wing.
Right.
They're bringing in the business. Now we're going to keep them where they're at. Why? Makes no damn sense.
It's like buying the Sancha the big house when it should go to your wife.
Yeah, it's dumb, man. And you know, you got to thank your city officials for that. You know, they're the ones that are dropping the bag. So when Tejano died, so did SA.
When Selena died, it happened in 1995, man. Right? When Selena died, the city died.
Look at Christopher Leha. Our politicians are ass. No lies detected, man.
And it's funny seeing all the comments that we have on YouTube. By the way, you can leave a comment on our YouTube stream agreeing with me. It's just no one wants to say it. And I'm the jackass for saying it, saying, you know what? San Antonio was kind of a happening town back in 1995. San Antonio could have gotten the Saints back in 2005 if they really wanted to, right?
Why did they build the Alamo Dome way back when they built that Alamo Dome?
That was Henry Cisneros,
and Henry Cisneros built that, right? And it's ugly. It was ugly back then,
dude. It was 6 years removed from the movie Field of
nasty.
Dreams, man. If you build it, he will come.
Yeah.
Right?
And why did they build it? Because we want to get an NFL team. We need to build a facility. That facility was ugly back then.
The problem that you have though with the Alamo Dome,
the shoebox,
is that the Alamo Dome is better than what was there before.
Yeah, it was the pink elephant there.
The pink elephant, ironworks, all that stuff going on over there. So as much as people rag on the Alamo Dome, it looked even uglier with what was there. Basically, we would look like Fort Worth before Fort Worth fixed itself up recently.
It was just a dilapidated, abandoned mall that was just nasty and ugly. It was pink,
I remember that.
They called it the pink elephant.
And then he had all the train tracks behind it.
Yeah.
And the metalworks and all that stuff there. Alamo Dome has turned a profit, though. Alamo Dome has been more positive than negative because next year we're going to have the Final Four. Men's Final Four is going to be in San Antonio from the Alamo Dome.
The only good
that ugly-ass building is hosting another men's Final Four.
The only thing that I like about the Final Four here in San Antonio is not just, the revenue that it generates for all the mom and pop shops and all the business that brings downtown, but I like all the music that they bring to town.
Yeah.
The free concerts and whatnot. They're good. They have some good acts.
Jesse A saying, all I see on Mike's shirt is ATX. Coincidence? It's SATX, baby.
ATX. No, we're going to say it ATX.
It's the Spurs SATX.
I never liked that logo, man. It looks too much Austin to me. Man.
Mario Cavasso says, when Joe's Volcano Sunday stopped, it all went to shit.
Now I don't know what it's called now, but the Alamo Dome still doesn't have escalators. They got stairs. They got what do you call it? They got an elevator.
Have escalators. Oh my God. And they've got one elevator. It's in the middle.
One elevator.
And you got to be in a wheelchair to use it.
No, you can use it. Anybody can use it. But the problem with it is that it takes so long. You're just waiting.
Only got one bar in the place.
Oh God.
And you got to climb like 9 flights of stairs to get to it.
The Alamo Dome ain't it, man. It's never been it. Even when they did all the upgrades.
Do you know what this is like? This is like a house that is, not nice.
It's all right.
It's all right. It was nice years ago. It's a 40, 50-year-old house that's a rental. And you get just enough rent out of it to pay off the mortgage. Right? So you get a little profit off of it. That's the Alamo Dome.
How old is the Alamo Dome? It was probably opened in 94, 95?
Somewhere in the mid-90s, yeah.
Right? It's pretty old. Its structural integrity at some point needs to be really looked at. Because you've had those steel girders and everything out there for a long time. They're not made to be out there for eternity.
Well, the lifespan of an arena is supposed to be, for a basketball arena, for example, the AT&T Center is supposed to be about 30 years.
Yeah. Well,
right. And we're coming up on 30 years for the Frost Bank Center, what used to be the AT&T Center, what used to be the SBC Center. So that life is going down as far as relevancy to an NBA team. I went to go see the Rockets play the Spurs last season at the Toyota Center. I was surprised at how basic that arena was. I've been blessed enough for many different reasons. Some of it's because I go visit family. Some of it's because I go to different places for work. I've been to different arenas, Joe.
Yeah.
Most recently, in the last 3 years, I went to see a Sixers game in Philadelphia.
Nice, right?
It actually is pretty nice because it's right across the street from Lincoln Financial Field, and then you got the.
You mean there's actual things to do?
And actually, no. Let me backtrack here. What they have there in Philadelphia is they have Lincoln Financial Field, which is the baseball field. They have Veterans Field, which is the baseball field, and then they have the basketball/hockey arena, all in one complex.
Yeah.
So it's like a triangle. All three are right next to each other. In the middle, you have if you've been to Dallas where the Cowboys play, there's that Texas Live.
Oh yeah, just down the street.
They have Philadelphia Live. Okay. It's the exact same company, the exact same concept. Yes, they have the bull riding and all that stuff, the mechanical bull. And yes, I was on there. Not going to show the video.
Oh God.
But that is there. And there isn't like a lot of restaurants or anything aside from that being there. So that's more like the AT&T Center. But just looking at the aesthetic of being in that arena is really nice. I've gone to Phoenix. Didn't watch a game there, but I've been inside that arena. It's really, really nice. The Houston arena, though, American Airlines Arena where the Mavericks play, that's an old place. It looks really modern inside. You go to where the Rockets play.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as the Frost Bank Center.
It's all right.
It's just all right. And I'll be honest with you, Frost Bank Center, not bad. I'm okay with the Frost Bank Center. The aesthetic around it, how it looks on the outside, how it looks on the inside, I'm okay with it. Just there's nothing to do over there.
You know, the one place that I've gone to, because I've traveled, you know, and I've got on the plane and whatnot. I went to go visit my sister-in-law in Maryland, right?
Yeah.
In Maryland, they took us to the harbor, right? So they have this bay area. They have ships and everything, you know. And Maryland's known for their crab cakes and crab and all that seafood, right?
Crab cakes and football. That's what Maryland's known for.
Man. So when you go down to their sports scene, they have where the Baltimore Orioles play, right?
Right.
Then they have where the Ravens play. And you can walk up and down. It's a nice place, nice little area. They got right by the harbor. Lots of places, lots of businesses, lots of things to do before and after. Easy to get to. It's a great layout, man.
Dude, I'm getting depressed over here thinking about this. San Antonio did peak in 98, right? 96, 97. That was the peak years for San Antonio, right? I mean, we had Greg Simmons on TV. We had Dan Cook. We had Bob Salter, Jeff Brady.
Who was the one that used to do that on K-Set? And they would say something to the effect that they would pause.
Oh, it's Bob Salter.
Right?
Yeah, he'd go, instant replay begins right now.
Yeah.
The late, great Bob Salter. Good man. He was a good man. So is his widow. No, that was good times. That's not me being old, dude. Am I being old right now by being nostalgic about San Antonio in the year 1998 and 2000?
No,
like, dude, that was the peak. The Houston Oilers were training at Trinity University at the time.
Did the Dallas Cowboys come through here for training camp sometimes?
Cowboys were here for training camp. You had 1999, the Spurs won the title. Dude, 99 is probably the year.
It's the Mecca.
Dude, when we hit 2000, the city went to crap.
You know, when the Spurs moved away from downtown and went to the Frost Center, that was it, dude. That was it. You know, I used to love watching the games at the Hemisphere, dude. The Hemisphere was a happening spot, man.
Was that the peak, Joe?
Yeah.
Was that the peak?
That's when you had all these things going. Oh, you even had the NBA All-Star?
All-Star game was in the late 90s?
Yeah.
When did the gondola rides go off over at Breckenridge Park?
Oh, man. Early 2000s, I believe.
Dude, that you could still rock that.
You see the remnants of what used to be there, you know, but it's not there anymore.
Fiesta Texas was new.
Yeah.
SeaWorld was still relatively new.
San Antonio before the Edgars was a beautiful place. Remember Ingram Park Mall?
Yeah. Taco Cabana tasted good. There were good movies at Santikos. Everyone knew what 226 3232 meant.
Yeah. And it's still a thing too, by the way.
The club setting, you know, Sunday at the lab at the quarry, right? So you had Sunday at the lab. You also had Sundays over at Joe's Volcano. Saturdays you'd either go to Graham's or you'd go to Planeta, or you'd go to
Planeta Mexico.
The Atrium. Bro. Friday, you had Jules and Madison Avenue for Thursdays.
Can't do Planeta Mexico no more, dude. I got kicked out of that place.
Nice.
We got in a fight over there, dude. Barely got there. My boy's already drunk, starting fights, so we had to jump in. They told us, y'all go, man. You banned.
Dude, that's brutal, man. I saw a fight happen at Planeta one time. That happened right in front of me. Two guys broke bottles like movies. Yeah, were doing this with each other. And I was so startled that I didn't move. I just stood there while they were like jousting.
Place gets wild, dude.
Wednesdays, Graham Central Station. Wednesdays would also Park Place.
God, Graham's. Look at Planeta as an apartment complex now.
So we're all in agreement, right? We're all in agreement that 1999 was the best year in San Antonio, right? 99 was it.
Yeah.
It was like the top of the ride, like the Superman, right? You got to 99, and then it's Whataburger leaves. Taco Cabana leaves.
Man,
AT&T leaves.
Look at this. Sam Salinas is on one today. And when WOAI had their Sunday sports show with Don Harris and David Chancellor before he was a douche. Come on.
Dude, we would watch Instant Replay. I used to produce that show back in the 90s. We'd watch Instant Replay, and then we'd watch Sports Center because Craig Kilborn was on, right?
Yeah.
Dan Patrick and all that. God, why am I reminiscing, dude?
Look at this. Tim Gonzalez is saying we had Kmart. Remember when Kmart was a thing? They had the Super Kmart just right here on Southwest 410.
Do you remember Best Products?
I remember that.
Dude, Best Products. That was a conveyor belt.
And they used to have that other place that's over there by Ingram Mall. It used to be called Service Merchandise.
Yes.
Remember that? Now it's like a furniture store or something.
Man, Mervin's was still around.
And Marvin's. And Marvin's. And what was that other place?
Cavaricci's was still in style.
Yeah, Solo Serve.
Gerbo.
La Feria, man. You weren't puro unless you went to La Feria, dude.
So, man, so we've all come to the realization that when Selena died,
it was over.
The city died.
It was done, dude.
We're becoming Laredo, man.
Oh, man.
Everyone who's like,
they're trying to make things better. Trying to make things nice.
Everyone's like, oh, man, the Spurs don't need a downtown arena. They can just leave. Dude, if we had no Spurs, we literally would be Laredo.
You know, and the thing is with the San Antonio Spurs, you think the San Antonio Spurs want another professional sports team in town?
No, they
taking
don't.
Their money away?
No, they don't.
No.
That is why Joe Reinagle from San Antonio Sports Star maintains that he has knowledge of the fact that it was the Spurs who shut down the Saints coming to San Antonio. It was not the NFL.
I bet it was.
Jason Garcia, McCreeless with the warped floors.
Remember when they had that HEB that was in McCreeless in front, and then they had the arcade in the theater? That place just
Tony Ornella saying Builder Square.
God, Builder Square. Remember that before Home Depot? And Handy Dan?
Andy.
No, it was Handy Dan. It used to be this, was it like hardware store that used to be on the south side of town?
Yeah.
It used to be where they had the Toys R Us, and I don't know what it is now, but they used to have that building. I still remember the logo. It was yellow, and it said Handy Dan, and it was brown. The building was an ugly brown color.
Brutal, man.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Handy Andy. That was
Ahmad.
You know what? That's what we need to do, man. I know Bear County made a shirt or something like that. It needs to. They need to make a jersey that pays homage to Handy Andy, you know, for the Spurs season, you know.
That's funny.
People would wear that.
Very cool. Let's give some love to MCS General Contracting because we've been getting nostalgic about when things were great. You know what's great right now? MCS General Contracting with that diamond hard concrete.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
MCS and Chris Leha have been with us since day one, man.
Yeah.
They are OGs in the Alamo City Sportscast, man. So thank you so much for the support. They do an amazing job. Fantastic. I'm a client myself. They did a sidewalk and landing for me at my house, my outdoor patio area. They did a fantastic job. Very, very, very happy. Do it right. Do it right the first time. MCS General Contracting, 210-774-9155. Let's give some love to me, Joe.
Yeah, let's do it.
Did you change the picture?
Yeah, I have the phone number now because you're complaining about the picture.
Well, I mean, the picture was 20 pounds ago, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I've lost 20 pounds.
F it. We'll show the picture then.
Jackass. So if you have some financial needs when it comes to things like investments, insurances, and things like that, 210-508-0369, 210-508-0369. Believe it or not, some of the people that listen to the show have become clients. They've referred me out to people who become clients. It's amazing. Again, I do retirement planning, investments, insurances, things like that. People have old 401ks, old IRAs, don't know what to do with them, might not be happy with their old advisor. Give me a call, 210-508-0369. Now, someone who is a happy financial advisor is the guy that represents CD Lamb. CeeDee Lamb got the bag, right? $30 million per year. More than that, $34 million per year. The second highest paid wide receiver in all of football. So, Joe, when he takes to the podium and starts talking to reporters and saying that it's on him, that the game that they lost against the Ravens is partially on him, and he's saying that he's not playing good. He's playing good, but not playing great.
Yeah, okay.
He's saying part of this is on me. He goes, I need to be a better player. CeeDee Lamb right now with 218 yards receiving, just one touchdown on the season. So he's averaging about 70 yards per game. Against the Ravens, he had 4 receptions for 67 yards. So 13 for 218, 1 touchdown. Give CeeDee Lamb a letter grade as to what he's doing right now for the Cowboys, because right now he's on track to receive for 1,200 yards.
He's going to get a C from me, dude. He hasn't been CeeDee Lamb yet. He's been all right.
Now, how much is that on him? And how much is that on the running game? Or lack of a running game?
The thing is, it's on him. It's not so much on him. I would put it more on Jerry. Because like we were saying, if Jerry had paid CD, if he had paid Dak, they'd have some chemistry already. Because they would have already been practicing, right? When they had their practices, they would have been doing their reps out there, building that chemistry, and the team would have looked better. Right now, this is kind of like the Cowboys preseason, and they're looking abysmal through the last 2 games.
Well, CD wasn't there for training camp.
Exactly. He wasn't there. So I'm saying, like, he's missed the whole training camp. He wasn't in game shape. He didn't have that great chemistry with Dak yet, and it's showing. All those things are showing right now. And CD wants to get mad at somebody. Get mad at yourself. Right. Why didn't you keep yourself ready? Well, you're not working out.
Well, it's beyond that. I mean, Jerry Jones could have signed him.
Jerry
Jones knew what the price tag was.
That's what I said. It was on Jerry. Jerry could have done that.
Jerry knew that if you're getting 35, 36 million to Justin Jefferson, you knew that CeeDee Lamb was going to be in that range.
Yeah.
He was going to be in the $33 to $34 million range.
And rightfully so.
And he deserves it.
He's a top 10 receiver.
Top 5 in my eyes.
I mean.
So it's not like Trevor Lawrence going out there and getting paid the bag because it's his turn, right? It's not like that. CeeDee Lamb actually did deserve it. But the problem that you have is it's a perfect storm of bull crap that happened for the Cowboys. One was they waited to the last minute to get Dak, his bag. They didn't sign anybody in the offseason worth a damn. They re-signed or they brought back Zeke Elliott to be the starting running back.
And they could have had Derrick Henry.
They could have had Derrick Henry. They pissed that away. The fact that they waited to the last minute to bring CeeDee Lamb in. It's the fact that Dak Prescott didn't play in the preseason. There's so much going on in this that new defensive coordinator. There's so much going on with this. And right now the Cowboys, look at the stats right now, Joe.
Let's show them.
The Cowboys right now are the 3rd worst team in rush yards for the season. 221 yards rushing. Dude, that's barely 74 yards, not less than 74 yards per game of rushing. The only 2 teams that are worse than the Cowboys right now when it comes to rush offense, the Bears and the Raiders. Part of it you can say, well, they have to pass the ball in the 4th quarter because, they're falling behind. That's why Dak gets his junk stats. But the fact of the matter is they can't establish the run for crap. And when it comes to defense, when it comes to trying to stop the run, guess who's one of the worst?
Cowboys.
The Cowboys can't stop the run. They can't run themselves. In fact, the Cowboys are the worst. They've given up 557 yards on the ground. 557. What is that, like 185 per game?
Yeah, it's bad, man. Right now, you can tell that the Cowboys' defense, their secondary is just booty crumbs, man.
Right.
And their offense, even though as bad as the offense is at times, they're still all right. They can put up some points, but the thing is, you can't stop another team from scoring. All they're going to do is run on them.
Here's the weird thing about the Cowboys and the defense right now. The rush defense. 557 yards, right? Cowboys have also given up the most amount of touchdowns on the ground at 8. The Buccaneers are 2nd worst at 6. The Dolphins at 5. When it comes to 40-yard carries, the Cowboys have not given up a 40-yard play.
Yeah.
When it comes to 20-yard plus run yards, right? The Cowboys are actually pretty good at that. They've only given up 2. So look at that. Only 2 carries for more than 20 yards, which means that the Cowboys right now, when they're giving up the run, they're giving them up in bunches of 5 and 6 yards. It's not that they're giving up 12-yard, 15-yard carries. It's not happening that way.
Yeah, they're giving up the big yardage.
They're being gashed, dude. They're being bled to death. That's the problem with the Cowboys right now when it comes to their rush defense. They do give up 5.4 yards per carry, but they're not big 30, 40-yard carries. It's 6 here, it's 4 there, it's 8 there, it's 9 there, it's 3 there. You add it all up, and they're getting rushed on like crazy, Joe.
Yep. And you know what? We do have somebody here on standby for us right now. We have the one and only Jeff Garcia waiting to join us. So we're going to go ahead and try to bring him on.
Very nice. Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Again, bringing you that daily coverage when it comes to the Spurs, because now the season's just 1 month away. Preseason next week. We've got the Spurs starting the regular season on October 24th. Looking forward to that. Is he ready to go?
Yeah. Sorry. Mike paid the bill.
Dude, speaking of which, man, I switched over my cell phone plan yesterday.
All right, just ready to go.
I switched over my cell phone plan from my ex to me. You know, I ported my thing, and I was so used to being direct, direct payment or auto draft. I forgot to link the two. For about an hour yesterday, I didn't have a cell phone.
Oh, God.
I didn't realize that people were calling me saying that your phone's disconnected. They're instant messaging me. My daughter reaching out to me going, Dad, what happened to our phones? And I was like, oh, crap. I forgot to link them. So I had to make a payment and wait 15 minutes for it to come on, man. So I felt very poor yesterday.
You were being puro.
I was being puro, man, but it was on accident. We got Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Jeff, what's going on, my man?
Nothing much, dude. Hey, by the way, how can you sit on that chair at Joe's, man? I had to stand up when I was at Joe's studio.
He wasn't comfortable sitting in the chair. He said it was like, he just needed to stand up.
It felt too short.
I just got used to it. I don't know.
Really? Yeah. I had to stand up. But otherwise, Joe's studio was just awesome. I was there when it was like prototype version.
Right.
I hadn't seen it since. It was awesome.
Jeff, we were opining about the city of San Antonio, and I've made the statement, and people have actually agreed with us on our YouTube stream. This peak San Antonio was 1999. People are saying on our stream that San Antonio started to die the second that Tejano went away, the second that Selena died.
Tejano.
We were talking about the late 90s and how everything was great in San Antonio. You know, we had had some bumping clubs. You know, Taco Cabana had good food. Whataburger had good food. They were both headquartered here. You know, we had all these nightclubs and bars. You know, the Spurs had just won a title in 99. The Alamo Dome was relatively new. You know, we had a lot of stuff going for us in San Antonio. AT&T was still headquartered here. It just seemed like things were bumping. Is that us being old, Jeff?
I think it's I think it's a part of that. But I do notice that the club scene is not the same as it was. Like, it died out.
Oh, it doesn't exist.
Like, it died out. Like, there's one club, I think, where you had your birthday party, Jimenez, like in that stretch.
Yeah.
There's that one there, and then there's one downtown. It's like on a rooftop, but even then, it's not a club.
It's more of a lounge. More of a lounge.
They closed the Paramore.
They closed Paramore.
Yeah, they closed it down. Yeah, they shut it down.
Oh my goodness! Why? How come kids don't go to clubs anymore? I mean,
because the new thing, or the thing for the. By the way, I was stuffy nose, so I apologize. The new thing for 20-year-olds these days is to do lounges. They like the lounge scene. Back in the day, it was about getting drunk, right? It was about let's just go out. Well, we're gonna pregame. We're gonna go to the club. We're gonna get dollar drinks or some clubs. It was $20 all you could drink all night, right?
Yeah.
They like to have better drinks. Club Piranha was like that. Club Piranha was like that. Yeah, it was like that, yeah.
They want to have good drinks, fewer drinks, but good ones. They want to go get the old-fashioned, Jeff. They don't want to go out there and get the, the Kentucky Classic, whatever they call that one.
No, you know what these kids like nowadays? They like their seltzers, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, Joe, you're right.
They like them fruity drinks and stuff like that. It's like
I remember being at the bar and just lining up drinks. Like, seriously, like in a line, like next, and just let's go, let's rock and roll. And I remember I remember going to Volcano and sitting in the back in one of the bar stools in the back with a bunch of people, and our whole bar table was just full of drinks. Everybody's drink. We would put them on the bar seats themselves, because we ran out of space on the bar table. And the club scene is. I think the last club I can recall going to, I think, was Graham Central Station.
God, do you know what?
God, I think that was the last one I went to.
How long ago was that?
Oh my God, I think that's when it was still at its peak.
That was the
last club I went to was with my ex-wife. We went to the Bonham, and it's still around.
Still a thing, yeah.
Yeah. Does it get packed like it used to back in the day, or no?
Dude, when we went, we went there and it was early. It was like still daylight. They had just opened, so it wasn't like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. when people kind of get all crowded. No, my daughter says that they like lounges, and I went quote unquote clubbing with her in Baton Rouge last year.
Yeah.
And guess what they were doing over there, man? They had a club there that played nothing but 90s music.
Huh. Well, then
it was amazing.
Party like it was 90 then.
Dude, I did, man. It was got buzzed there. We Ubered back.
I still think the 80s partied harder than the 90s did.
Well, because they had the cocaine.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, it went from cocaine to pot at some
Saca
point.
la bolsita.
Yeah.
Talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Can we talk about how the Spurs regular season is less than a month away? That's going to be exciting times. We're going to get to see Wemby in his second season with the team.
Yep.
You guys were talking back and forth about dominance, right? When will Wemby be dominant? And Jeff, I was of the impression, and people kind of, I don't say they gave me crap about it, but is it possible that Wemby will never be dominant? That Wemby can be the best player in the NBA. Not saying not be the best player in the NBA, but can he be the best player in the NBA and not be dominant?
No, I think he's going to be dominant. I told Joe as early as year 3. I think that's when he'll start dominating the game.
Describe what dominant means, because if I would ask you the question,
he's added size. He's going to add more size to his frame. He's not going to be able to be boxed out, pushed around as much in year 3.
Right.
The team should be theoretically better around him. Perhaps more playmakers, more shooters on the squad. That frees him up. Another reason, just the evolution of himself, just him learning more. He said last season this wasn't his peak. He wasn't even close to it. So we'll see if he takes that step. The Spurs are going to obviously construct the team around him, so it's only going to get better. The draft picks, the flippable players they have on the roster, I think you combine all that together, and then obviously he has to do the heavy lifting. I think you're going to see dominant as far as nobody can touch him defensively. I think he's already there. And offensively, I think he just needs to learn to play in the paint a little bit more, and let's rock and roll.
I think he just needs to make better decisions too with the ball, because it seems like he tries to force the issue and it creates turnovers, and that's not what you want to do.
Right.
So he needs better decision making. But again, that's going to come, and I think, like Jeff's saying, his second year, third year, he's going to be a better player.
Well, I brought up the term dominant because, I mean, how many dominant players have there been? You can be the best, like Giannis.
Shaq was dominant.
Right. And
LeBron
dominant.
Come on, Mike.
See, the problem with LeBron, okay, so I would say that the last dominant player in the NBA was Shaq. I never thought that
playing
LeBron bully ball, but then the rules changed when it came to that, right? The whole thing about LeBron deferred so much. LeBron is greatness. I don't know if it's dominance. And that's what I'm looking at there, is that I think Shaq was the last dominant player in the NBA. And I'm not saying that he can be, because like Nikola Jokic won 3 out of 4 MVPs. I never considered Nikola Jokic to be dominant. I never considered Giannis to be dominant or Luka Doncic to be dominant. That's why it's just that word kind of throws me off a little bit, because for me to be dominant, you have to be a top 5 player offensively and a top 5 player defensively. I'm not saying that Wemby can't do that. But what I'm saying is that I think he has everything it takes to be the number 1 player in the league. It's just that word dominant kind of just, I don't see it yet.
Well, it's coming soon then. I think year 3 is
I hope so.
Be dominant. Yeah, it'll be dominant. I think if you just go on the defensive end, he's already there.
He is.
I think he's there already. So there's one half of dominance right there. And look what he did offensively last season. Look at usage rate, was up there, so everything's funnels through him. Assist percentages, 21% of the time, he assisted on plays. You're looking at just the complete game from him, and that's right. I know you're not disagreeing. You're just kind of skeptical still.
It's a little bit of semantics, I think, is what it is. Now, last year, Wemby averaged 21.4 points per game, 10.6 assists, 10.6 rebounds, 3.9 assists. He shot 46.5% from the field, 32.5 from three, nearly 80% from the free throw line. Effective field goal shooting of 52%. He got better as the season went on. He was a different player October through December 31st. January, when he sucked the life out of Chet Holmgren on that one block to seal the game, that one game, he became a different player, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to kind of say, well, you look at his stats in totality. What he was in February, March, and April, was a top 10 player in the NBA. He is an all-star. He will be an all-star. He's going to be Defensive Player of the Year, provided that he remains healthy. But if I was to ask you the question, Jeff, what part of his game does he need to fix first? That he needs to improve on first in order to take that leap into the next stratosphere?
Well, I think Joe hit on the head. Decision making, turnover percentage was at a 17%.
Wow.
That's how often he turned the ball over when he had possession of the ball. 17% of the time. Among other centers in the league, that put him in the 19th percentile. So that was just not good. Just not good.
Look at Chris Gonzalez is telling Mike right now, Jeff, was Steph Curry dominant?
No, because he didn't play defense. He's an offensive juggernaut, but he didn't play defense.
As far as weaknesses in Wemby, but this is pretty much a blanket for almost all players on the roster right now. Just shooting, that can get better. Look at that, just all threes from anywhere beyond the arc, corner, mid, whatever. He took 390 shots. He made 127. That was good for 33%. You're looking at non-corner threes, 31% from there. Interesting enough, though, at the mid-range, he tends to struggle. At the pretty much just a little outside of 4 feet, but inside the free throw line, that's considered the short mid-range, 39%. He took 256 short mid-range shots and made 99 of them. Even when he's close, not at the rim, but like kind of close with his length, he struggles with that shot. That's where I think he's going to get dominant. He's going to say, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm 7'4" with a Tower of the Americas wingspan. I can just lob this in or just put this in there." So I think he learns that he's going to become dominant.
Is there a stat line there for pull-up jumpers or pull-up threes? Because I swear he's so good at that. Like he's better on the run than he is on a setup type shot.
The last I shot, I think, in catch and shoot situations, he struggles a bit still.
No, but I'm talking about like running up the court and then just pulling up. I see
what you're saying. Gotcha.
Which by the way,
I don't have that right.
It's a harder shot to make historically for most players, but for some reason, and maybe my eyes are deceiving me, I think Wemby does a fantastic job doing pull-ups. I think he's amazing at it.
Pull-up threes?
Pull-up threes, yeah.
He's just
that's a hard thing to do.
He's not a very good three-point shooter at this time, but I mean, when he knocks some of them down, they look great.
Yeah, he seems to knock them down when he's on the move. And he's moving towards the basket.
Transition.
Yeah, transition threes. I think he does a fantastic job. Talking to
Jeff, I would like for him to get better, and I think he can. We're looking at other little areas, just anywhere for him. His length again, with his length and height. I think I would like to see him finish better with and ones, like finishing at the rim when he gets hacked or he gets fouled or whatever. 26% of the time he'll complete and ones. So.
Yeah, we got an incoming question for you, Jeff.
What's up?
Jesse A. He's saying, Jeff, help us feel better. Are we getting a better City edition jersey or Bill Miller's Part 2? Come on, Jeff. Can you give us something? A little teaser?
As of right now, it looks like it's just copy and paste for the most part.
Yeah.
But this is where Jimenez, I don't know if you heard this. This is where I think there could be kind of like a 180. because usually the courts and the jerseys match. These don't.
Oh,
at all. And NBA 2K game, every time they leak images of jerseys or courts, they're pretty spot on. For example, Keldon Johnson wears 0. That was NBA 2K that leaked it, not the Spurs or the NBA or anybody else out there. NBA 2K.
Somebody with sources leaked it, Jeff. Come on.
That's right. Everybody has sources nowadays. Yeah. And then, but again, I'm not, whoever did leak it, I'm not trying to attack the credibility. All I'm saying is maybe there's something else in the world. Yeah, maybe that is a jersey. That is one of the alt jerseys, but not the city edition jersey.
Now that court floor looks tight, dude. That looks really good.
Oh yeah, they nailed the courts. Yeah, that was just perfection.
And apologies for using the word tight. 20 years ago,
tight.
that was good, but not now. But you know what?
Your age.
You know what looks all right? What looks pretty good? Those Spurs Fiesta license plates, Jeff. You have an article on cans5.com. Tell us all about it, baby, because I love this. I love this logo.
You gonna get some for your truck?
Yeah, I gotta get a bigger truck, but yes, this is what I'm looking at here.
Well, apparently it's been away for about close to a year, so it wasn't a full year, but it was like 9-10 months that that website My Plates hasn't offered them, and they just brought it back. It's back just out of nowhere. They just decided to reissue them. The only thing though, it's only in that version, only in that color.
I like it.
Yeah,
it looks good.
And yeah, because you go to their website, they'll have varieties. Like for the Dallas Cowboys, they got like 3 options. I think the Texans have 2, but the Spurs have 1. But last year, 2023, the Spurs license plate theme one was the #1 selling among the Texas NBA teams. So better than the Rockets, better than the Mavericks. And then just overall, that design came in 3rd among popularity behind the Cowboys and the Texans. And then it was the Spurs. So they're back. They have like plans, you can buy them. And I don't think I've ever seen those out in the wild though. Like somebody
out in the wild.
Yeah.
I've seen those, and I've seen that some people still are donning the older plates that are just traditional silver and black that has like a little Spur logo on it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool too. I like those.
So we're talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Paul Vieira keeps buying more and more of the Spurs. It's like an annual thing. I got a feeling he's going to be the main guy when it's all said and done.
Right. A lot of Spurs fans saying that this could be a sign that the downtown arena is coming.
Yeah. So Paul Vieira, founder of global investment firm Earnest Partners, buying a little bit more of the Spurs. And he kind of came in. Who did he buy it off of last year before the Spurs won Wemby's?
Oh, yes. I forgot.
It was that Aramark or something like that.
Yes, Aramark. Yeah, he bought Aramark. Yeah.
He got a return of investment like in 2 weeks. Aramark couldn't wait to see if the Spurs are going to win the lottery or not. They just fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
Because the Spurs are worth more now than what they were before Wemby.
Yeah.
So very, very cool. Jeff, you want to talk some pop culture with us, man?
Well, first, before we do that, I would just like for everybody to keep an eye out on Locked On Spurs, which is dropping in about 12 minutes. There's a pretty big guest on there today.
Nice.
You might want to tune into that. So, as a matter of fact, as we're speaking right now, I'm getting it ready.
Very cool, man. Very cool. We're looking forward to it. Again, subscribe to Locked On Spurs on YouTube. Subscribe to them on Spotify as well. Jeff does an amazing job. Now, Jeff A is basically coming out and saying that I instantly regretted saying the word tight. He says that he felt it in my voice.
Hey, wait. I know you want to jump into pop culture, but is this a segment you want to tell me that David Robinson wanted to play basketball with you?
No, it's Tim Duncan.
Now, or is it who was next? Tim Duncan? Did Tony Parker want to play some street ball with you?
Okay.
I hear another tall tale again.
Okay. Midtown coming out and saying that I'm going to say whack next. So you're telling me that I have a whack ass story when it comes to it, all this. Dude, I swear it happened, man. I swear it happened. And it wasn't like they thought I was a hooper. They just wanted a 10th guy. It's not like they thought like I was there.
No, I got you on tape. You said I could ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought you could ball.
Back
you
in
you could ball.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna ball against Antonio Daniels. Like I was gonna be able to guard him. Like I was gonna be able to post up Duncan. No, it was the middle of the night. Racquetball and fitness. Callahan and Babcock. NBA players showed up. There was like 6 or 7 of them. They wanted to run 5s. 5-on-5, and I was there. They're like, "You want to run?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." I said no. I didn't say that I ran the court with them and that I scored 8 points. I didn't say that I stole the ball from somebody and was on a 3-on-2 fast break. I didn't say that. That's how you know it's not a tall tale, because I didn't say that I was actually on the court.
You know how I know it's a tall tale?
Probably it's not a tall tale because you have witnesses that might refute what you say.
You know how I know it's a tall tale? Because Mike said, I was curling in the gym. I was lifting weights.
I was lifting weights.
I'm like, bro.
God. So you're weightlifting, and then they decide to go call you
at 2 a.m. At 2 a.m.
2 a.m. That's when we would do it. That's when we would do it. Me and a lot of my friends, we'd go to Racquetball and Fitness in the middle of the night to work out. Okay, maybe I was on the elliptical. Just playing. Talking to Jeff Garcia, Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Here's the thing. We got to go into entertainment stories. And I know that Jeff will sometimes want to bow out of certain conversation pieces. So this might be a me and Joe conversation, but we'll keep you on, Jeff.
Okay.
Entertainment news. We have the bump.
Is it going to be? You're not going to be talking diddling, are you?
Yeah, we are.
Oh man.
Of course Jimenez would.
Yeah, diddling. All right, hold on. Here we go.
You know, there are rumors out there right now that a Hollywood couple might be calling it quits. Is Jeff still on with us?
Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah,
okay. So there are reports out there that Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher might be calling it quits. So we know them from that 70s show. We know them from many, many years from that. Mila Kunis has had a fantastic career on her own. She was the original Meg, or actually, no, was she the original? No, Lacey Chabert was the original. Mila Kunis became the regular.
Yeah.
Yes,
when it came
the regular.
Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, apparently calling it quits, and the speculation is that it's because allegedly Ashton Kutcher took part in P. Diddy's freak-offs.
He was diddling.
Well, now can you blame her if it's true?
So, but this was before her, man. You know?
Oh, before her. Oh, okay.
But in 2019, remember that show Hot Ones, the one where they eat the hot wings and all that stuff?
Yeah,
it's on Peacock right now. YouTube all over the place. Anyway, he was one of the first guests ever on that show. And they asked him about partying with P. Diddy. And they said, "Can you tell these stories?" And he kind of like froze a little bit and was like, "Well, I mean, I can't tell that story. I can't tell that story. I can't tell that story. Let's just say that it's wild and weird," is what he said. That's what he said on that show. Fair or foul for Mila Kunis to dump Ashton Kutcher for taking part in freak-offs?
I would think fair, not because of the timing when he did it, if he did it, but more of the situation that she may be into as far as getting questioned, whatnot. And if it's just looking out for herself, and do they have kids? I don't know if they have kids.
They do. Yes,
they do.
And they were spotted this weekend going to having individual outings with their kids, going to different places.
I don't blame her if she just wants to get away from the heat. And plus, too, if what the allegations are true, like kids were there and bad stuff with children happening, do you really want that kind of person in your life, male or female? Yeah,
they faced some heat together last year when Danny Masterson was going to jail or going to prison for rape and whatnot, for multiple rapes. He was convicted of that, and then they wrote letters to the judge, along with other people. A lot of other members from that 70s show wrote letters in support of Danny Masterson, saying that he's really a good guy, all that stuff. While Kunis and Kutcher ran a charity, nonprofit to support sexual assault victims.
Yeah.
So they've just had some bad PR all along the way. Maybe, just maybe, Ashton Kutcher is just a cochino from Iowa who made it big because he was a good-looking guy, and he's just a cochino.
Yeah, possibly, man. You know what I was going to get into, too? I wanted to ask Jeff this question because I saw it yesterday. I don't know if you want to bring it up real quick here, Mike.
Yeah.
If you go to Sham Sharnaya Twitter.
Yeah.
Jeff, I want to ask you this question because I think I saw you tweet this out, too. So the nephew, the deuce, number 2, Kawhi Leonard, he underwent a procedure, right, apparently, on his knee in the off season, right? The franchise said that, as of yesterday, Leonard will be limited to strengthening his knee to start Clippers training camp, but the team officials are optimistic about his progress. Mm-hmm. So yet again, we have Kawhi Leonard being a diva. Doesn't want to play the full season. Always going to miss, half a season, only play part-time. This guy's washed, man. I'm glad that he left the Spurs and that we don't have to deal with this nonsense anymore. But at this point, when do they move away from him?
Well, I don't think they can.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's locked into that contract.
Yeah.
If I were the Clippers, I would just, you know what, Kawhi, I'd rather you just not play the front end of the season and play the back end.
Right.
Because now at least we get you for a playoffs, even if it's a play-in situation or a low seed, whatever it is, chance to get in. Because that's what he's just good for. He'll wow you to start the season, a little bit in the middle season, then fizzle out at the end of the season. He's damaged goods.
Kawhi Leonard is 33 years old, $49.2 million salary, makes $50 million next season and $50 million the year after that. A lot of this guaranteed. In fact, it's all guaranteed, according to Spotrac.com. Future Hall of Famer. The dude's a Hall of Famer.
They're not going to retire his jersey and put it in the rafters.
In San Antonio, they should.
No,
they're not going to.
They're not going to.
They should, but they're not going to.
Never. He'll never be in the Ring of Honor there, up in the rafters next to the great Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili.
Just put him
Tony
next to Johnny
Parker.
Moore. Just
separate man.
them.
Don't do him like that. Don't do Johnny Moore like that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nephew, he needs to be gone, man. He's done. I don't think he's going to ever sniff another title.
Yeah, and then let's just say he finishes out this contract. No team's going to pay him like that anymore. No team. I don't know if any team would want him unless he's just a mercenary now. That's all he is.
That's all he is. CeeDee Lamb, his real name, Joe Garcia.
What is it?
Is Cedarian De Leon Lamb. De Leon?
He's Latino?
Are you making it up?
Yeah. So I was looking up CeeDee Lamb because I wanted to check out his stats, and then it popped up his real name. And according to Wikipedia, and I have the page up right now, it's Cedarian, Cedarian, De Leon, capital D-E, capital L-Leon, Lamb. That's CeeDee Lamb.
All right. Okay, you learned something new today.
Cedarian De Leon. Who would have thought? You could have given me like 20 different options.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been on there.
That would have been the one that I chose. God. There's a De Leon in his life. That's amazing.
So he's part Latino.
This reminds me of the reverse. You ever seen that Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah.
Where one of the guys was getting kind of threatened because he had a black father and he was Hispanic, and they're going to use it against him. This sort of reminds you of what? CeeDee Lamb has a Hispanic name in it?
There's somewhere along there, man. His 23andMe probably has some Hispanic blood in there. Very nice. Latino CeeDee Lamb.
No, you know what? Poor CeeDee's downfall is probably going to be a 5'2" Latina, man.
Hey, Joe, did you jump off the Cowboys bandwagon already?
No, man. I still love my Cowboys. I wear Cowboys blue every Monday, whether they win or lose.
Man, how can you?
I still support the team, dude.
Damn,
the one thing that Jerry preys on with Cowboy fans is that Cowboys fans are the most loyal fan base in the NFL.
Well, I mean, for now, I think there's cracks in that dam, man. I think there's going to be a flood coming. It's getting close to 30 years, man. 30 years.
You know what Jerry cares about right now?
Money.
Exactly. Yeah, he doesn't care about winning. He doesn't care about putting together a team that's worth the damn. It's going to take you to the Super Bowls. He'll tell you that, Cowboy fan. He's been lying to you for the last 28 years, telling you, this is our year.
Yeah.
We're going to the Super Bowl. All lies. The only thing Jerry cares about is money.
Next time there's a CeeDee Lamb touchdown, I will tweet out there, rain to Cedarian for the score.
Gosh. Cedarian.
Which is factually true.
Right, because Dak Prescott's real name is Rain.
Yeah.
Rain.
That's his real name?
Dakota Rain Prescott.
No, it's Rain Dakota.
No, Rain Dakota Prescott.
Yeah, it's
Rain.
R-A-Y-N-E. Rain.
No, I don't have kids, but if for some miracle I ended up having a child, I couldn't do what the kids are doing nowadays. My kid's name is Apple. This is called, polka dots or some of that. Just give them a traditional name.
Polka dot. Oh my goodness. The idea of being a dad again. I'm 47. Being a dad again. I'm not saying that I want to be a dad again. Just it wouldn't kill me if I did again. You know what I'm saying? We're Latinos. We're built that way.
No, I'm done, dude.
I would like to have a kid. I actually thought I would have a child by year 30, and obviously that didn't happen. So that sucks.
Yeah, no, I think if he did, Jeff, you'd probably have that kid spoiled with a whole bunch of Star Wars and Legos and all sorts.
I wouldn't be going to work out every freaking day. That's true. I'd probably be huge and fat. Like,
you'd be playing. If you had a kid, you'd be playing with the kid, man, building Legos and spending time together and making them, like watch the movies that you liked, like Star Wars and all that, and just seeing it from a different perspective,
I don't know if they're going to be down with that, dude. Do you think kids now are down with Star Wars?
Oh yeah, dude.
You show a 5-year-old that 1977 movie that's 50 years old.
They still like it, dude.
No,
yes,
man.
They do.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your freaking mind.
I would see showing one of the newer Star Wars movies. You
would like those.
That's not on VHS.
No, man.
I can see that. It's kind of like I'll give you an example, Jeff. Showing a teenager right now a Rocky movie, may as well be showing them something from the Middle Ages, dude. They don't give two craps. They watch Creed and they like Creed. It's the same freaking story, but they want the more update version. They don't want to see Rocky Balboa, running up and down the streets of Philadelphia, catching an orange from somebody with Roscoe the dog chasing after him. No, they want to see Creed. And at some point, the Star Wars fandom from 5-year-old to 5-year-old is going to die.
No, it's not. Look at Tony Ornelas. He says, my kids are 9 years old and they love E.T., Star Wars, etc.
Oh, man, that's all going away, dude.
No, it's not.
I think kids nowadays are like Goonies.
Well, there's going to be a Goonies sequel, isn't there?
That was fake news. Apparently that was fake news.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. I'll find out in a few weeks when I host the Goonies panel. So
yeah, you're going to talk to Sean Astin?
Yep, I'll ask him.
Sean Astin, the representative from the state of Indiana, when it came to the DNC. I don't know what he was doing there. I was like, why is he the one making the announcement?
He said, I just got paid to show up.
For real? What's his name? Astin was really there?
Yeah, Sean Astin was like when they did the roll call. They were like, state of Georgia, and it was.
Yeah.
It was Georgia was what's it called, Little John, and they're like Indiana, and it's Sean Astin.
Hey, before we
Joe, real fast. You might the Lockdown Spurs just dropped right now. You want to go to my Twitter timeline? You'll see who the special guest is.
Let's do it.
Go ahead and do that. I was going to ask you a question too, Jeff. Have you seen Downtown? They've transformed it for that series 1923.
I saw pictures of it, but I haven't seen it myself.
Yeah, you should check it out. It looks pretty cool, man.
So the chat on Lockdown Spurs is going to be with boxing trainer and San Antonio boxing legend Jesse James Leha.
Nice. We had Jesse James here on our show as well. He's a great interview, man.
He's great.
Yep.
He's great.
Yep. He came on. He gave you hear some incredible stories from his story about training Will Perdue, David Robinson, who was the most impressive in the ring. Well, let me rephrase it. Who had the fastest hands? I was surprised. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised, but it wasn't one of the players that I would have gone to. I thought Tim Duncan. He said no. I thought Wemby. He said no. So you'll get to hear exactly who has the fastest punching hands in Spurs boxing training with him history.
Really?
He said no to Keldon?
Yeah. He said no to Keldon.
Will Perdue, former Spurs legend Will Perdue, 1999. He was in San Antonio when the San Antonio was at its peak.
Will Perdue. Rasho Nesterovic, remember him?
Rasho, yeah.
Oh, we were talking about that yesterday, Joe and Jeff.
Well, I was going to tell you real fast about Rasho. Have you ever, just for fun, looked at his stats? Remember, he was the one who replaced Robinson after Robinson retired.
Right.
Yeah.
Go back, and I'm a little surprised that people give him you know what about it, because he actually was pretty good considering he had to follow up Robinson.
He was serviceable, man, but I mean, he wasn't no David Robinson. And then after that, didn't we have like Fabricio Alberto? You know, Fab
with Ellison, some guy named Ellison back in the day.
Francisco Ellison. Fab still lives in San Antonio.
Really?
I talked to him. I talked to him last season, right ahead of the season, and did an interview with him for Kings 5.
We were talking about old school players, Jeff, yesterday, from like that long forgotten Spurs.
Yeah,
Terry Cummings. He was good, dude. He was a good player. I think Spurs fans forgot how good that guy was back in the day.
It was great,
especially when David Robinson was just starting in the league. He had Terry Cummings to battle up against.
Oh God, Midtown Texas. Dale Ellis was tight. They're making fun of Mike.
That's what happens when I'm doing the show with a stuffy nose. I can barely think, man. It's worse than when I can't hear with my headphones and I'm out and about.
I'm just waiting for Mike to say that was dope.
That was dope.
What are like phrases kids say nowadays? I know they shorten everything. And even in Spanish, like kids from like south of the border, South America, they'll shorten words. So, for example, like corazón, they'll say cora. They'll say cora.
Mike's not familiar with that, man. That's too ethnic.
Okay, sorry.
Nice, thank you. I hear a lot of bruh.
No que
well, the one that threw me off was the kids say a lot. Like they say bet. Like
bet.
Yeah. Bet. Everything's bet. I can say something like, "Hey, I'm going to get a Diet Coke." Bet on what? That was my reaction.
Yeah.
What am I betting? I'm not going to get one?
About a year and a half ago, it was cap and no cap. James Pledger from San Antonio Sports Star was all about that phrase. I was like, dude, come on, you're 40. Let's get away from cap.
You're calling out Pledger, bro?
Come on.
You're firing some shots at Pledge, man. God.
I love you, Pledger.
I can't wait. You know what? I need to reach out to Pledge. I want to bring him back on the show so we could cook you, dude.
You know what? It's funny because
cooking with Pledge.
It's funny because as you know, I've going through a divorce and I'm started dating a girl. One of the things that's been coming up, Jeff, is the fact that I need to like get better when it comes to dressing. Mm-hmm. Right? Dude, my wardrobe has been revamped.
Good.
You don't understand, man.
Look at Jesse.
She calls it bougie on a budget. I've been out and about getting new gear, dude. So everything from shorts to different types of polos and different types of pullovers and things that fit better and whatnot. Part of it's losing 22 pounds, Jeff. Part of it is that.
Is this your nephew?
That is my nephew.
Mike has no Riz.
That's another one too, Riz.
Riz. I like Riz.
I could not figure that one out at all.
Riz is.
I had to have my nephew tell me what it was.
Riz is one of the greatest phrases of all time because it stands for charisma.
Yes. Hey, are you at that age now where you go to the Costco now and the clothes looks
Dude, that's what I was guilty of, man. Start dating a girl for 2 or 3 months and all of a sudden I dress better.
You know what was I went to Ross the other day, and I'm going through the men's section, and I pull a shirt out, and my
oh, sorry, I lost you, Jeff.
Wait, give me 1 second, Jeff.
Well, right, the kids still wear this. I'm gonna get it. And come to find out, it's not cool. Guess jeans.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I thought it was still in.
Oh my goodness! I you know it's funny that you mentioned that, Jeff, because someone told me that like 2 weeks ago, and I
what about Guess jeans?
I said something like, "Oh well, that's at least it's Guess." I said it just like you. I guess it's Guess. You know,
but what made me think like it's still legit?
Yeah,
because the Guess stores are still there. So in my brain, I'm thinking, well, people still go to it and buy the brand because the stores are still operational.
Oh man.
Does Jeff have Riz? Is what people are asking the question.
I got a lot of that. I got a lot of Riz.
Mike, no. I'm gonna say Mike, not so much. But Jeff, we're gonna have to go ahead and let you go because we're gonna bring this show to an end. But make sure you all go and do check out the Locked On Spurs episode that just dropped. Again, Jeff's guest for the show today is going to be the one and only Jesse James Leha.
All right, go check it out. It's out right now. I get a lot of insight into what it's like boxing with the Spurs. Did Pop ever pick up the gloves? It tells you all that and more.
Nice.
Just go to Locked On Spurs right now on YouTube, subscribe, or just go to my Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. It's there. Go check it out.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you, man.
Laters.
That is Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Again, don't forget to subscribe on Spotify and on YouTube. I gotta blow my nose, dude. I've had a stuffy nose this entire show. It's been on my mind. Got to get that going. That's Joe Garcia. My name is Mike Jimenez. Tomorrow's show, I might be doing it in San Antonio, might be doing it in Baton Rouge. We shall see, but we'll be doing the show tomorrow. It is Thursday, and it's Cowboys Thursday because they're taking on the Giants later on that night. My name is Mike. That's Joe. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, MCS General Contracting. We'll be back tomorrow.